Oh my God. What is good, guys? Welcome back on the channel for a match reaction, Champions League match reaction. Inter 2, KAIRAT 1. Very ugly win by Inter, or they made it ugly, Inter, by wasting chances, gifting a goal to KAIRAT. Really, disappointing and surprising. This, in theory, as Giuseppe says, full respect to KAIRAT, pressing masterclass, all that kind of stuff. But in theory, this was supposed to be Inter's easiest matchup that we have in this Champions League fixture list that we had. You know, KAIRAT are from I think the lowest ranked league in this competition. They were a surprise. You know, they weren't supposed to beat Celtic. That was, you know, fair play to them. They are the lowest ranked team in this competition as well. And Inter at home. So you think this one was going to be, you know, better than Ajax, better than Union Saint-Gilloise. And I thought my 3-0 prediction maybe was even a little bit conservative, you know, could have been, you know, putting all those things together. You think this could be a real stat pad of a night for Inter, but no, it was not. It was like this Lautaro celebration, not the greatest of watches. And as Matthias says as well, clenching until the last minute against KAIRAT at San Siro wasn't something I was expecting. Our defense, like, what the hell is our defending on corners, guys? We'll get on to all the positives and stuff, but what the hell is our defending on corners this season? It's absolutely embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. And Jules Pelli, if I did a watch along today, yeah, you would have seen me lose my head after that 55th minute, the goal that we conceded. And after that, like, we just kept giving the ball away, even the first half, just some silly giveaways. One time, a couple of times, it was Zielinski, who actually played well, but then he gave the ball away stupidly so many times. Even Carlos Augusto, who scored the goal near the end, he gave a massive giveaway that we didn't get punished for. De Vrij, of course, on the corner, but also other moments. Barella, Frattesi, like so many silly giveaways all over the place from almost all the players. Like, there was no player that today can leave with, you know, a clean conscience of like, yeah, I had a great game without mistakes. Like, lots of little mistakes from pretty much every single player today. And you know, saying all that though, we did create so many chances. It shows only 2.1 xg here, but honestly, if the players had their shooting boots on, and I'm talking about Pio and Lautaro. I know Lautaro scored, but Pio and Lautaro, if they had the shooting boots on today, even Frattesi at one moment, this could have been easily 3-4-0 at half time, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. And KAIRAT, yeah, as you can see, apart from the goal from the corner, a couple of shots from outside, it didn't really create anything, but it was all a gift by Inter. I won't be on for too long. I know I always say this, but there's exactly 100 of you in here, so thank you for that. But as Matthias says down below, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to support the channel. Of course, there's other ways you can do it, or be a channel member like Mike Guerrero here, who's tuned in from San Siro. Hey, Mike, tell us how you're feeling, man. Tell us how you're feeling. Oh, his language tool is saying my mic isn't connected. Oh yeah, good point. Well, how the hell did that change? I literally double checked it. Check 1 2 1 2. Apologies for that. I literally made a test just before going live, and then StreamYard decided to change the mic source. But yeah, now you should be all nice and crisp in your ears. But yeah, Mike, thank you for tuning in from the San Siro. I'm surprised because usually they have you get a very crap connection when you're out, not just San Siro, but just when you go to, you know, big events, stadiums, when there's lots of phones around, you usually get very poor reception. So I'm surprised that you're able to tune in and give us your thoughts. But shout out to you. Must have been an interesting night, of course, enjoyable in the end, but as Noor also says, a little bit embarrassing the way that we performed in the end. Really, we shouldn't be playing like this. And yeah, we definitely now we cannot play like this against the big teams. We are done with the easy side of our fixture list. We are 12 out of 12, like we said we should be, and we predicted that we would be after these 4 games, all of them. in theory, and now in practice, Inter should have won. But now begins the difficult games. It's a little bit deceiving here, us being right at the top with Arsenal and Bayern Munich, because Arsenal and Bayern Munich, they also had some easy games, but actually they, like Bayern Munich yesterday, they beat PSG, so they are there by beating the current holders. Arsenal, they beat Atletico, who were going to play, and then they smashed. Was it 4-0, 3 or 4-0? They smashed Atleti. So it's a little bit deceiving that they're there. Oh, bloody hell, Arsenal still haven't conceded a goal. And we obviously had to concede a stupid goal today. But let's have a quick look at why it's so key that Inter got these 12 points out of the way now, because it is Atletico straight after the Milan derby. So it's good that at least Pisa away is after that. Then we have Liverpool Tuesday, December 9th at home. So Atleti away, Liverpool at home. After Como at home, which is not too bad. Home games in a row: Venezia, Como, and then Liverpool, which is actually not too bad. And then the last one is against Arsenal, January 20th, also at home, and also with Pisa afterwards. So this is why it was so key that Inter got these 12 points out of the way. And yeah, probably the least out of all of our Champions League performances, probably the least convincing. Again, it was in theory the weakest team that we played until now, but it was our worst performance because, yeah, we started bad against Union Saint-Gilloise. First 15-20 minutes was pretty poor. We could have conceded, but then after that, it was cruise control. All the other ones, the Ajax one, yes, we were bailed out by Jan Sommer. But then afterwards, that also was pretty nice performance. And then Slavia Prague, that was completely domination. So that one was fine. So yeah, out of all the performances, this was really the least convincing one against what the team was supposed to be the easiest one on paper. Oh man, what a pain, Yanni. Kivu could have been the only coach who wins his first four Champions League games with a clean sheet. Oh man, these Inter players, man, these guys, that's on them. They should pay for Kivu's dinner tonight or for the whole week, really, for ruining that. That could have been such a nice little stat for Christian Kivu. And they went and ruined it. They fell asleep in that goal, but we dominated. Yeah, as I said, I don't want to focus too much. I don't like to focus too much on negatives when we win, but we have to just get this out of the way because I am actually embarrassed about the goal we conceded, as Eduardo says. Look how many. So this is from a corner. This is not directly from the initial corner. If you didn't see it, so the corner comes in. Then I forgot who heads it up. So it kind of goes up, or maybe one of their player heads it and hits one of our players, and it goes up into like a looping high trajectory of the ball. But then they're all just ball watching. Actually, apart from De Vrij, who completely loses sight of the ball. De Vrij didn't even know what the ball was. He was like, this was De Vrij. He had no clue what the ball was. Denzel Dumfries. I don't even know who to blame here, honestly. I think De Vrij is the only name, like the main culprit for me, because he was right underneath the ball. But Denzel Dumfries, who's also been very shaky this year on set pieces. Even the first half, Siavush tweeted it on X, talking about Dumfries' defending or heading or far post defending on corners and set pieces. And here again, he was not directly marking the guy here, but he was the one. The guy ran past him. Arad, I think his name was, the player that scored, ran past Dumfries. De Vrij has no clue. Sommer is completely stationary on his goal line as well. The ball was looping up in the air. I think some people on Twitter replied to me saying that Sommer should have come out and claimed it. I feel like if you watch in real time, the ball does loop up and come back down quite quickly. Although it seemed like time just froze. It was one of the moments like the ball seemed like it was in the air for like 10 seconds, but it wasn't. But yeah, we got to look at Sommer. We got to look at all of them, honestly. Every single player involved there, every single player involved is should be embarrassed and should not be able to sleep tonight. Should not be able to sleep tonight. A rumor has it that Stefan is still looking for the ball in the air. Yeah, that rumor is confirmed. That rumor is confirmed. Black Blue Legacy. Stefan de Vrij is still looking for that ball. completely clueless where the ball is. And in general, we look shaky from set pieces, as I said. There was other couple of opportunities where we passed out from the back and just completely misplaced it or made the wrong decision or got dispossessed. Very poor. Inter versus Urawa Red Diamond vibes. I can't remember. I don't think even watched that game, Stuart, to be honest, because I wasn't really paying too much attention to the Club World Cup. Yeah, I know, Grant. I know, can't mind a win, but it's when it's two back-to-back performances that are quite wasteful, and you're almost gifting the other team the win. It's quite frustrating because these little red flags, we've seen it now, Grant, haven't we, under Inzaghi for 4 years. Whenever those little red flags, they always came to bite us in the ass. Whenever we ignored them, or whenever we seem to be going through these little patterns of like, oh yeah, it's fine, we're winning, we'll be all right. But sometimes you got to catch these patterns and catch these little habits that our players have early and just nip them in the bud. I hope Kivu does that. Yeah, Denzel, honestly, in general, his general performance as well, Denzel, all season, you guys know me on this channel, I've been saying that I've not been impressed with the start to the campaign, which makes Luis Enrique's but that's what makes Luis Enrique's transfer such a flop at the moment, because he's not even able to displace this Denzel Dumfries, he's not even that much of a threat going forward. He's shaky defensively at the moment, and in the air, like, look, this is his bread and butter, the aerial duels, the ground duels. He's struggling with his own bread and butter. He's having to play more than I'd like to, and probably Kivu wants to, but because Kivu can't trust Luis Enrique. Yeah, I'm really not too high on Denzel Dumfries' performances at the moment, but of course he has to be the starter, and of course against Lazio, it's not going to be Luis Enrique, it's going to be Denzel. Hey Ian Kerr Mafia in the house as always. Thank you for the support. Another disappointing display, but good to get the 3 points. I think we took this game. Yeah, I think we did take this game for granted. But yeah, the real Champions League campaign starts now. I think this year, I haven't looked at, there was that account on Twitter or X that was doing the probabilities and chances, like points needed, probabilities for teams. And last year, that account said, 15, 16 points should get you over the line. And it was 15, 16 points. This year, with the way the top teams are performing, because remember last year, Real Madrid dropped the ball, PSG dropped the ball. They all had to recover right until the end. I think Man City didn't have too much of a great group stage either. Liverpool were the ones that just won every single game, but all the other teams, I remember, they were all kind of like up and down in this league stage phase. But this year, they're kind of all like smashing it. Obviously, some of them have one loss here and there, but I think the point tally for top 8 might be a little bit higher this season. It might be 16, 17 more than 14, 15, I think, that got you over the line last year. So Inter will need more than I was saying in my, when we got the group stage draw, I was saying, get the 4 wins, so 12 points, and then you can get kind of 4 draws maybe, get to 16. So, but Inter might need to sneak 1 win in there, to be honest, to get to, comfortably to get to 17, maybe minimum, just to have that safety net of getting in the top 8. Because 16, yeah, because Bayern Munich, Arsenal already on 12. And what are their fixtures like? What are Bayern and Arsenal's fixtures like? Okay, so they play each other at least, Arsenal, Bayern Munich. So one of them will drop points there. Sporting and Union Saint-Gilloise, and then PSV. So yeah, that should be, apart from the Arsenal game, that should be, in theory, 4 points for Bayern. Arsenal, Club Brugge, who actually I think they drew to Barcelona today, so let's not underestimate them too much. Inter, wait, where's all the other? What were all the other Champions League fixtures for Arsenal? Bayern, Brugge. Oh, maybe because they got so many Premier League fixtures. Oh, then they got KAIRAT on the last game. Yeah, that's yeah. So Arsenal probably, if they beat Bayern, that's basically they've got the full points. Like pretty much Liverpool got the full points last year, right? But yeah, this is definitely this is going to be the big test now upcoming for Inter in the Champions League. But it's always, we got to make sure to like say, yes, Inter have a easy start, easy 4 fixtures, but you still got to put them away. You still got to get the 3 points, still got to get those wins. Like you saw the other Italian teams, how are they doing? Well, actually, Atalanta won today, nice, against Marseille. I always like to support the Italian teams in Europe, apart from Juve and Milan. But you still got to put them away. Remember Milan last year? They lost to was it Dinamo Zagreb? They lost to them. You've seen Napoli this year, so it's all easy on paper, but you still gotta play these teams, and then you gotta make sure the results are taken care of. Abandon the zonal defending on set pieces. Yes, I have not been a fan. Pata Podcast, make sure you check him out, by the way. He also makes YouTube and Instagram content on our beloved Inter. Since Christian Kivu has come in with his new coaching staff, with Angelo Palombo, who was praised at the weekend for the goal that Zielinski scored, the Hakan Zielinski. Oh, still, I have to rewatch that every day now for the rest of the season. So Angelo Palombo, he's one of the assistants for Kivu. He is in charge of not the attacking side only, also the defensive side. So today, Palombo needs to have a look at that defensive side of things. We haven't conceded. I don't think we've conceded that many set pieces. I know we conceded the one against Juve, the Thuram one, maybe a few others here and there. But if you like we do, we watch Inter every single game, every minute of Inter. It's been quite a few times this season where I've not been convinced with our defending from set pieces at all, because we've changed from what Inzaghi's was before, man for man, or I think it was kind of a mixed man for man / zonal, whereas now it seems like he was going for full zonal defending, which is obviously it's always one of those things up for debate. I see them debating, and pundits on TV debating it. I don't know which one is superior, which one is not. But at the moment with Inter, they don't look too convincing in these set pieces, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. Ian Kerr will be at the Lazio game of the weekend. Nice, very nice, very, very nice. Enjoy that. Hopefully you bring us luck, because obviously Lazio last year, I don't want to bring that back up. But Pedro, man, we could have won the Scudetto in that game. Bisek handball. Pain. But Ian, hope you enjoy it out there. And I think you have a pretty good record, right, Ian? If I remember correctly. Hey, Mike, back in the house from San Siro, live reporting from the San Siro. Quite nervy, very relieved. I never thought it would be an easy game. Italian football fans should come to accept these games are never in the bag. Yeah, no, 100%, Mike, 100%. But, it's just like on paper. And you saw, Mike, in terms of the amount of chances we created, they weren't great as well. They were gifting us some opportunities as well, but we just couldn't punish them. But yeah, it's never, especially in the Champions League, it's never easy. All the teams are there for a reason. But we definitely made it hard for ourselves, Mike, this one. Definitely. Yeah, Barella wasn't great either again today. Not really that great. My prediction was 3-0, so yeah, we were nowhere near that. We did not respect the adversary today. We played too easy. I agree. Marvel Lawson. Was today's performance better than the one against Hellas? Yeah, compared to the Hellas one, way better in terms of chance creation. Some of the plays, some of the patterns of play that we had. The strikers played a lot better, like Bonni, Lautaro against Hellas Verona. They were zero. They were non-factors. Today, Lautaro, better. Still not great, but better. Got his goal as well. Sta Lauti. Pio definitely should have scored at least one goal today, but overall, hold up, got an assist, much better. Boni, when he came on, whoa, way better than the Hellas Verona game. So individually, way better performances. But of course,
I think Hellas Verona really played well against us, so we have to give them credit there. So yeah, much better than the Hellas Verona performance for sure, but again, not great. Pio Nunez Esposito. Let's talk about him quickly now that Lamprish Stores has brought him up, because he should have got a goal today. He should have got at least one goal today. As I said, much improved in his overall play. Look at that, 15 out of 17 passes, only 2 out of 6 shots on target, big chances missed, three block shots, 31 touches, accurate long balls, 3 out of 4. So everything else was good. Ground duels, 4 out of 4, aerial duels, 2 out of 2, fouled 4, the most in the match, but his finishing was not on it today. He's kind of panicking or kind of snatching at chances, or really trying to hit the ball too hard, or trying too hard to get this goal. He needs to relax a little bit. Of course, it's easy for me to say, him, 20-year-old, growing up in the Inter Youth Academy. This might have been a massive start of the season for him. So much hype, so much pressure in the media and the fans. I'm sure it's not easy, but he needs to just he's being very much appreciated and accepted in the team. It's not like he's been thrown in there just for the sake of, because he's a youth player and it's the Oak Tree project. He deserves to be in this team, so he just needs to relax and let the goal come if it comes, and just try to be a bit more calm in front of goal. But it's not like his captain next to him is the best example of that, Lautaro. Yeah, let's talk about at least some of the positives. I want to talk about some of the positives now. So, okay, maybe let's see. The whole nation is waiting for the Frattesi stats. If you know me on this channel, we like to have a look at how many passes, or what was Frattesi's pass completion rate. So, I haven't looked at it. Let's have a guess. Is it over 50%? Over 60%? Definitely under 80%, right? A Frattesi match over 80% pass accuracy is very rare. Let's see. Oh, 71%. Yeah. So, higher average than the usual Frattesi performance, I guess. But yeah, he definitely. Well, I don't know if he should have got a goal, but there was one moment where he literally just tripped over his own feet. He tried to do like a fake shot, cut back into it, like onto his left foot, and back onto his right foot, and he just fell over. He had a couple of nice moments where he kind of carried the ball and had a few like dangerous moments. But it's a bit disappointed today with Frattesi. In a match like this today against this type of opposition, I expected a little bit more from him. He wasn't even like danger. Yeah, he didn't even have a shot, which is shocking. Frattesi playing 63 minutes against, a weaker opposition. I was expecting 2 or 3 shots at least this game. So the fact that didn't even happen shows you that it wasn't a good Frattesi performance, because a Frattesi performance without even a shot is not a Frattesi performance. But yeah, at least he was better in terms of off the ball, holding his position. But not really. I don't think he's convinced Kivu that he could be challenging for the starting role for sure. Someone who did, and again, I'll reiterate, he wasn't perfect. He was far from perfect, Piotr Zielinski. But of course, he's coming off the back of an amazing goal, decent performance against Hellas Verona. I think this is another good performance. I'll say it's a good performance from Zielinski, because as Pasta Podcast said, the passes that Zielinski makes are just different. Like his technical ability that in this midfield is just different. I've always said this. If I had to rank players in the Inter squad on technical ability, I think Zielinski is number one, above Barella, above Thuram, Lautaro, all these guys. And when I'm talking about technique, I'm talking about touch, vision, passing ability, left, right foot. In theory, dribbling. In theory, shooting. Okay, we did see the shooting finally at the weekend, but in theory, on paper, Piotr Zielinski is Inter's most technical player. But at Inter, we see it in like little flashes, little moments, little, little fake shots, little fake cut dribbles and little touches here and there, but not really seen it consistently. Today, a little bit better in terms of his off the ball output, dueling and stuff like that, which is usually his weakness. He did lose some stupid balls, as I said. I think 2, I remember very specific ones that started some counterattacks for KAIRAT. But overall, and he completed the full 90 minutes, which I don't know how many. This might be his first or second ever full 90 minutes that he's completed at Inter. So he was today one of the positives, and the other positive, and I think my man of the match might be Di Marco, to be honest. I know Carlos Augusto scored, I know Lautaro scored, but Di Marco is really, really playing consistently very well now. This has been, we're talking about it since the start of August now. He's been consistently good. He created 5 chances. His teammates just weren't making the right moves. All of his crosses today, I think, were pretty good. His teammates either were in the right place at the right time, didn't make the right movement. He had some decent shots as well. He was up and down the whole game, completed another 90 minutes, was going up until the last moment. I was very impressed with Fede Di Marco. And also, I think Bisek had a good game as well. Bisek had a good game. So those, I think, are my positives from this game. And Andrew and Boni, the way Boni came into the game, fantastic. He showed that, yes, that Hellas Verona game was a blip. This is my level. As soon as he came on, Inter looked different. When Boni plays, Inter do look different. When Boni plays like that. Yeah, Nick Knox, 100% agree. Speaking of big team, we need to see how Stankovic performed against Barca. Yeah, my second channel, if you're familiar with it, Instant Football, was killed this week, guys. It was killed by Serie A YouTube copyright things. That was the channel where I was uploading Alexander Stankovic compilation of his performances, and unfortunately that channel has been killed. I still might, because it wasn't really anything. I wasn't trying to make money out of that channel or trying to get it to massive following. I was just doing it to help the Interisti fan base to keep up with loanee players. So I might keep a lookout in the next few days. I need to get the motivation and energy after a channel gets killed. It's hard to you get like a punch in the gut. But I know that a lot of people do want to watch the Stankovic performances, so I might do it just for, and also for my selfish reasons of watching Stankovic. So I might do it again. So keep a lookout on my community tab if I do also launch again the my compilation channel. It already was 16-17 last year. Oh, okay, Matteo. Maybe I remember incorrectly. My bad. Let me see. What was the UCL table last season? Yeah, so 16 got you it. So yeah, 16 got you it. What I mean is, I think the bottom teams might be 17 this year. That's what I'm trying to say, that even the lower mark might be 17, Matteo. But yeah, it'll probably hover around the same point. Oh, because Liverpool lost 1 game, so they won 7 and lost 1. I think it was literally the last game, and they just couldn't be bothered anymore. But yeah, very impressive again last season. But it's funny. Look, we scored 11 goals and 1 last season, which is that's exactly what we're on right now, right? 11 goals and 1 conceded. That's hilarious. So in 8 games last season, we had this exact same goals scored and conceded. But it showed you how much more solid we were in Champions League last year. Ridiculous. In Serie A, conceding goals left, right, and center last season, but in Champions League, super switched on. And they did comment about this in the pre-game, Inzaghi and Carlos Augusto, that we need to change that, but it doesn't seem to actually. Well, today we did drop the ball. Today we can't say that we were switched on in Champions League. Today we completely switched off. Conte was always a fraud in Europe. Nothing new there, 100%. Yeah, Ian, we talked about our upcoming fixtures. Chelsea tied against Karabakh. Villarreal lost to Paphos. Never take wins for granted. Very, very true. Very, very true. very, very good examples from today. Ian was at Lazio last year, was right in front of that B-Sec decision, only seen as B once so far. Yeah, so that's a very good record, only one loss. Lockie Law has just woke up in Hong Kong. Shout out to you, brother. Good morning. Best thing in the morning to see Sharma happy have in the thumbnail. Yeah. You should go back and watch this game just to see how many chances we created, but don't watch the full game because it might give you a bit of headache or a bit of a heartache because Inter were not switched on defensively today. But it is my favorite player, but his yellow card showed he should never wear the armband. De Vrij was a class act and my player of the match. Yeah, De Vrij was good, but yeah, I can't give De Vrij man of the match after this moment. Sorry, I know it might even be his fault. To be honest, I need to go back and watch the actual action and how everything played out. But I've turned him into a meme here, so just for that. But yeah, he is. De Vrij is well known, Mike. Even if you ever meet De Vrij off the pitch, I've been told by many people who have met De Vrij at the training ground, or if they meet him around Milano. De Vrij, out of all Inter players, is the guy that will take time. If you say, "Can I have a picture?" he will be the one to say, "Yes." Pretty much, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that De Vrij said no to them. He's probably the nicest player off the pitch that we have on the team, but yeah, on the pitch as well, he is a class act. The thing with De Vrij is he's not really like a leader, in the captain. Like maybe Lautaro's too much of too much grinta of a captain sometimes that we saw against Napoli. But De Vrij is a little bit too much, kind of almost, even though he's a centre back, strong, built. He's a little bit soft touch as a guy. Again, he's super nice. Maybe that is why. But I know what you mean. He's a bit of a class act. Whereas Barella, we know he's got his tantrums. He's improved on those the last 2 years or so. Definitely, like first couple of Inzaghi season, it seemed like he was just losing his head every time. But yeah, today we saw a bit of that petulance again. Esposito, the player with most big chances missed in all of UCL. I mean, we know pretty much all of them most of them are coming from that Union Saint-Gilloise game where he missed so many sitters. But today as well, I think he had 3 big chances missed. Let me show you actually some of the chances. Let's go through some of the screenshots that I have. Of course, Positivity FC, Eduardo was never ever concerned. What? Who the hell said that, Boy Marley? Sebastiano has 1 goal this season, I think, no? Let's go through some of the screenshots from today's game. So, Inter did start off very well. Again, we could have, if we were 1-0 up here, guys, I think it would have been a completely different game and we would have smashed KAIRAT, in my opinion. But yeah, great start. Di Marco shoots, it gets blocked, and then it comes to Lautaro, shoots, going into the goal, but cleared off the line. So KAIRAT as well, man, they defended with their life, with their bodies on the line. So you got to give him credit there. Not all just bad misses. Lautaro does what he needs to do here, but fantastic save with the guy on the line. And then here, it looked like it was going to be one of those games for Pio. And I guess it was in the end because he didn't score. I think this also ends up from like a rebound or a block shot. Comes to Pio, pretty much open goal, but manages to hit bloody Lautaro right in front of him and it goes wide. Massive, massive miss. Again, couldn't he maybe take a touch there or try to be a little bit more present in the moment to realize Lautaro's right in front of him, the keeper's right in front of him, maybe, try to go on the other side, try to take it to the left side, try to dink it over the keeper. I don't know. But yeah, again, maybe snatching out the opportunity there, Pio. Lautaro again missed a pretty big chance here. You can see completely free, just on the edge, inside the edge of the box. I think this was Di Marco again, teeing it up for him on his right foot, but kind of slices it wide a little bit, curls wide. Should have definitely got it at least on target. Penalty call here on Frattesi. VAR did review it, but it didn't give it in the end. In real life motion or live on TV, it looked like it was a penalty initially. Other way around. So it looked like he dived or it was a bit of a soft for from Fratesi, but whenever you're running like that, even a slight touch on your back foot can send you tumbling down. So it looked like it was a dive, but actually it wasn't. I've seen those penalties given. I've seen these penalties given, but they did review it and it didn't give it. It was kind of accidental from the guy, but I've seen these types of penalty given. I've seen red cards being given if a guy's a last man and he fouls or trips a player like that. They usually do give a foul and a red card if he's last man. So I, I thought this was, even if if they reviewed it, I thought this was a penalty. To be honest, could have been, you could say soft, but I thought it was a penalty. What I did thought was a penalty, and it wasn't, was this one. So the opposite to the Fratesi one, Bisek does a little like Ronaldo chop inside, very nice move, which reminds me why I think Bisek would be kind of wasted in the center back position, because he is. That's why I say that I think he's better at attacking than Akanji. But actually, he did a bit of Cuadrado versus Perisic, that shite penalty that Juve won in the Conte first season under Conte, the zigzag. Sorry, the second season under Conte, the zigzag kit season. Perisic does nothing, and Cuadrado just puts his leg in between Perisic's leg and tumbles over. It was a little bit of that, not as bad as what Cuadrado did, because Cuadrado literally moved his leg into Perisic, but Bisek, after doing that chop, kind of moves his leg into the guy, and I can see why this one wasn't given. But I thought in live TV, I actually thought this was the penalty over the other one. But on reflection, I think the Fratesi one to me is more of a penalty. And then here's where I was talking about in terms of Inter looking shaky on set pieces. Dumfries, he has been very suspect at the far post all season. He should be out jumping pretty much anyone on the pitch. He is an absolute monster in the air, physically, athletically. This is just him again having no awareness or just jumping too late, getting dominated by the guy in the air. Here, Zomer actually did very well, because the guy gets you can see the number 80, the striker, is ready to pounce on this opportunity, but Zomer parries this one out before it gets there. This could have also been, 1-0 up for KAIRAT if Zomer didn't react to this poor defending from Dumfries there. And then they started to get more confident into the game. Satpayev, very, very interesting player. Turns out that Chelsea already signed him, of course, because they sign every bloody young player in the world. Cuts in, shoots on goal, and Zomer deflects it out. I think this was one of those silly giveaways that we had from Zielinski. But yeah, this 17-year-old guy, very interesting. Some pace, some strength. He's not got the body of a 17-year-old. Very hardworking. And he's their top scorer, actually, as a 17-year-old. Very, very talented. One to watch out for in the future. But yeah, here is finally the goal from Lautaro. Look at that, the way that he had to move his body to get that on target. And this as well, there was I think it was one shot was blocked, and another shot from Pio was blocked. Then it got to Lautaro, and he finally managed to sneak this through. So, we can criticize, and we did criticize the performance today, but we have to say we were a little bit unlucky, and they were literally just throwing their bodies on the line the whole game. So fair play to them in the way they defended. There's not much you can do sometimes when a team defends like that. But Lautaro did manage to get the goal. And now he also has a new record as per Opta Paolo. He is the third player to score in each of his first 3 Champions League matches in a single season for Inter, after Samuel Eto'o, 2010-11, and Adriano, 2004-2005. So Lautaro has turned into Mr. Champions League now for Inter. He has been stat padding, and hope it continues. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Pio needs to have first goal at San Siro to calm the pressure down from media and fans. Yeah, and on himself as well. And on himself. I think he's feeling the pressure on himself at the moment. And if you didn't notice, Lautaro actually celebrated to commemorate or kind of give a shout out to Ashraf Hakimi, because Hakimi, if you didn't watch the game yesterday, the Bayern Munich PSG game, Hakimi was part of or subjected to a horror challenge by Luis Diaz, who pretty much almost broke his ankle. So like it seems like it's going to be a pretty serious ankle injury for Hakimi. Going to be out for a few months for sure. So it's good to, I mean, it's painful that still we have, these links to Hakimi, because we all still would love to have Ashraf Hakimi at Inter. But we know that him and Lautaro were pretty close when Hakimi was at Inter. So it's good to see that they still have that connection. And yeah, as Salem says, very, very wholesome celebration in that is Hakimi's celebration, that weird little dance. Going back to oh man, no. Ian Taremi is better than Correa, man. Don't get me started on Correa. The keeper, yeah, he was decent. I thought he was pretty shaky. Like there was a few moments where he looked pretty shaky. There was some nice saves he made, but maybe I got the commentator was kind of saying that he wasn't making confident saves, or he was looking a bit shaky. So maybe I got when you listen on the commentary, you can get swayed by what they were saying. So yeah, he's quite a young goalkeeper, but I didn't really find him that interesting. There was a couple of nice saves. Let me go back to the screenshots to see which ones they were. So yeah, this was a good save on Pio. So I think this one, Boni came on straight, gives Pio the assist, and then Pio hits it very nicely, actually, almost into the, like, not quite, proper in the corner, but, with power. Pio got some power into this one. I'm not going to criticize his finish on this. This was a good save by the keeper, very explosive, very reactive. So yeah, that one, very, very nice. We talked about the embarrassing goal that we conceded. And here is probably his biggest chance, Pio, because this one, he was 1v1. Oh, no, this was the one Boni assisted to him, sorry. He was 1v1. Keeper did well here to come out, close the angle. But Pio, again, kind of goes for power for some reason here rather than placement, which is, you always go for placement when you're 1v1 against the goalkeeper, unless you got the confidence of a Luis Suarez to like put it top bins. If you know what I'm talking about, Barcelona versus PSG, when he nutmegged David Luiz and puts it top corner for no need. But yeah, poor finish there. Good save again. And then it had to be Carlos Augusto. I think someone, who was it that commented near, I probably won't be able to find it now, but someone said we're turning into long distance FC or distance shots FC. Was it Language Tours or someone? Can't find it now. But yeah, recently this season, it seemed like, and I quite like it though, to be honest. I do like scoring these types of goals. I feel like we were scoring less of these last season for sure. Augusto himself did have a good few tries. I think he had 2 or 3 shots this game. Yeah, he had 3 shots this game. He tried one. This one, oh wait, sorry, I'm not sharing the screen. He tried this one with his right foot. That was nowhere near target. Then he had the thing. This was like a volley from a narrow angle. But yeah, this one was fantastic strike from him. He was definitely one of the positives as well, apart from a couple of shaky moments, a couple of poor decisions when he was attacking. He was definitely one of the better players today. 4 out of 4 accurate long balls, 3 out of 6 ground duels, 1 out of 1 aerial duels. He was up and down the whole game. When he plays left centre back, he plays with a lot of energy. Plays with a lot of energy. So he won the football man of the match. I'm sure. I bet you the Champions League official man of the match was also given to him. My last comment: Inter loves to complicate themselves. That's what that's where Pazza Inter comes. But in this game, I never doubted them. Yeah, I never doubted Inter. And there's like, you could see like the amount of chances we're creating, and this team, KAIRAT, they played well, but they were giving us chances, plenty of chances. It would have been shocking to me if we drew this game. What? I don't know why. I'm not pretending that Pio is good. I think Pio is good, Ellis. Like today, his total game, as I said, his finishing was poor today, but his total game today, if Arnautovic had a game like this last season, I would have praised Arnautovic. I was one of the guys that would defend Arnautovic. I was going against the grain defending Arnautovic a lot of the times. If he was having games like this. But I don't remember any game like from Arnautovic like this where he was completely, on the ball today. Pio did pretty much all that was needed. His link up was, I would say, 80% of the time spot on. Won the most fouls. His movement was good because to get into those positions, it means his movement was good. His finishing wasn't on point. He got the assist for Carlos Augusto as well. I think what it is with Pio is visually. I think he is one of those guys, especially in modern football. He's not easy on the eye. He's not, if he's not scoring or if he's not contributing, because he's not easy on the eye, he's bulky, he's a little bit clunky. His touch sometimes isn't like, spot on. He gives you those, if he's not playing well, he can give you those Petagna vibes, or Luca at Napoli, the big flop at the moment. These kind of big guys, big Italian guys that not so quick, not so visually appealing to the eye in terms of their technique, their ability. But I think Pio is different from these guys. I don't think he's a Petagna. I don't think he's a Luca. Pio has much higher IQ in his build up, in his link up, I think in his movement as well. And once I think he gets, not just any goal, not just like a tapping goal that he got against the Union Saint-Gilloise. I think he needs like a nice little headed goal, like a curled finish, like a confident finish, like one confident finish to get kind of this pressure off his back. And I think you'll see this guy, because in the Serie B, this guy was bullying players and scoring goals. I know that's Serie B. And yeah, not every striker is like Haaland. That's for sure. That's for sure. I don't really get today. You could criticize him for his impact in the Hellas Verona game if you want. What was the game that we played before? I think it's been a couple of performances now back to back where you could say he's not been the most impressive. Yeah, against Fiorentina, against Napoli, maybe you could say those performances. But today, I thought he was pretty good. Especially in the second half when Boni came on. I felt like he took the game to the next level. But this is what I was saying, Alice. Like, he's 20 years old. Like, when he was scoring 18 goals last season in Serie B, it was like when Arnautovic was missing the big chance against Atletico, against Lazio. People, it's just these kind of extremes. It's like, oh, bring Pio, he would have missed this. No, any striker can miss what Arnautovic is missing. Any striker can miss what Taremi was missing. Well, actually, Taremi wasn't even shooting on goal. It's how you recover from that. How many times does Lautaro miss? It's how you recover from those misses, how you keep going. Like, Lautaro just keeps going. We know him. He can go these patches where he misses and he has stinkers, but he will just keep going. Thuram. Is Thuram a clinical finisher, Ellis? I've seen Thuram miss 3-4 big chances. I think in Serie A, I think Thuram is the one that has the most big chances missed for Inter. I'll show you. I'm pretty confident. I think I saw this the other day. Yeah. 6 big chances missed. Pio's also there. It's part and parcel of being a striker. But if he does this all season, then we can have a conversation like, yes, Pio, not quite ready for Inter. Maybe needs to loan out. We can have that conversation. But right now, he's still, and this is, if we want young players at Inter, guys, we have to go through the growing pains. If we had a 20-year-old centre back at the back, the equivalent of a Pio, let's say we bring through Christo, what's his name, Alexeo, the young Greek guy from our Primavera or someone like that, he's gonna make a mistake. We have to go through him making a mistake and making an error in judgment at the back. That once you have young players, that is part of the process, guys. We all wanted it. We all been asking for it. You also have to accept the bad side of it, where there's going to be growing pains. It might not look good. It might not look like he's ready, but it's part of when you start integrating younger players into the team. It's part of the process, and I don't want to change it. I want to try to integrate more young players into this team, and that is one of the reasons why they hired Kivu. So yeah, you can't always be ice cold like Tuku. I mean, he's built different, man. He's built different. But yeah, finishing up, guys. I don't think I have anything more to say. As I said, my man of the match is Fede Di Marco. If the UEFA Champions League gave it to Carlos Augusto, I'm happy with that as well. But to me, he was the man of the match. Shouts out to Zielinski. Shouts out De Vrij, apart from the goal. Shouts out Bisek. Shouts out Esposito. Shouts out Lautaro for start patting the goal. Shouts out Boni. I think Pisucic was also decent when he came on. I like Hakan when he came on. I like Turam. Actually, all the substitutes were actually pretty good when they came on. Yeah, pretty happy. 3 points, win, 12 points overall. And yes, we have bought San Siro. It has happened. It has happened, guys. Inter and AC Milan have actually bought San Siro. It's the news that I never thought would happen. And today has been made official that Inter and AC Milan have bought San Siro. They bought San Siro, the stadium and the area surrounding it. They need to now finalize the design. So the architects in charge will finalize the project, the design. It's a massive news, not just for Inter and AC Milan, but for the city of Milano. I am going to remain skeptical until they put that first brick down. I'm going to remain skeptical. I want to see it built. I want to see it being made before I have grandchildren. But apparently it has to be made before 2032 because that's when the Euros, Italy are hosting or co-hosting the Euros, and this stadium, this new stadium, will be part of these stadiums hosting it. So we'll see. But it is massive news. We'll keep a lookout on the development of this. But conosco I miei polli. I know my chickens, as they say in Italy. It's Italy, the bureaucracy, the red tape, the slowness, the decision making. I'm still skeptical, but we'll see how this develops. It is exciting news. Yeah, Barella was in general. He wasn't particularly good today. I usually like him as a regista, but yeah, I wasn't really impressed with Barella today. Silly yellow card as well. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. See you on the next one, which is the Lazio game. It will be a preview. So when we're playing Lazio on Sunday, I believe we are playing Sunday. So match preview, expect that on Saturday. Keep a lookout on the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Ciao ragazzi. Always. Forza Inter. Thank you, Carlos Augusto. What a strike to deliver us 3 points.